today. My name is Precious and I'm the host of the Cells TV. We are an organization that is passionate about empowering youths and women, considering the fact that to an extent women and youths are still marginalized in the mainstream economy. And we would like to tackle challenges that entrepreneurs find themselves facing on a day-to-day basis, but we are discussing them on the light that there is hope. Once it's shared, we propose possible solutions to challenges that entrepreneurs find themselves facing. And on today's segment, I'm sitting here with Salem. She's a wonderful lady. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Precious. My name is Salem. I have been in the finance credit industry for 15 years. So I specialize in finances and credit, and also in the marketing, communications, and public relations space.
I must admit, I've had you share some of the events that I've attended, and I was quite impressed. I feel like there's a lady who knows what she's doing, and I must also admit, I love the confidence that you say in those sessions. So yes, today we want to talk about financial management. There's this big buzz that entrepreneurship, but sometimes as entrepreneurs we find ourselves stuck in the little things that can ultimately make us better. So we'd just like for you to elaborate more on the financial management, the personal financial management. And we believe that if someone is able to manage themselves well, then they can manage other things better.
Yeah. So you see, I think a lot of times people think that the two are not related to each other, managing your personal finances and that of the business. But a lot of times, how you manage your finances as an individual would ultimately affect the way you run the money of the business. And that's why you find that people, money that was supposed to be used to grow the business, they take it and they squander it, and they think of personal gain, how I can, sort of enhance my personal life and not necessarily grow the business. So for example, instead of, whatever will add value to your business, you can buy yourself a car, or you buy yourself clothes, or just so that you can look a particular part. But what entrepreneurs are also not realizing is that this kind of information does reflect on what we call a credit report, or in this case, a business report, because there's a personal credit report and then there's a business credit report as well. And also the way you manage your finances, your debt, the way your behavior is towards your credit providers is reflected in your credit profile. But when they pull a business credit profile, they can actually see who the directors of the business are and how those directors actually behave in their personal capacity. So let me give you an example. For example, you've got this personal credit report and you've got credit cards, accounts, let's say a home loan, car finance, etc. And you are not paying them well, meaning that you are not conducting yourself in a way that you should according to your contract. Yes, it's sitting in your personal credit profile, but when they do a business check and they see that the director of a particular company is Precious, is Salem, they then look at how your personal credit report is. For example, Precious, if you have a blacklisting on your name, when they check on the business profile, it will say one of the directors, Precious or Salem or whoever, is actually blacklisted or has a judgment or a default on their name. So it might not be the business that is blacklisted, but it says one of the directors is blacklisted. So a funder, for example, or another business that's doing business with your business will want to then see further what do they mean, what does it mean, and it will be reflected So that is why it's very important for entrepreneurs to understand that what you are doing in your personal capacity can ultimately affect your business profile, because you are the person at the end of the day. The business is not the four walls. The business is the person or the people that are running the business. And that's why we also always encourage entrepreneurs who are going into business together to understand, how do you run your finances? How do I run my finances? How do I repay my debt? How do you repay your debt? Because it's all well and good that we have a brilliant business idea. You've got what I need, I've got what you need. We decide to merge and do business together. Maybe we need to take our business forward for funding, but when we get forward, we hit a glitch because one of us is blacklisted and we did not do the check beforehand.
So for me it's very interesting because it's little things that we leave unattended, yet sometimes we feel like maybe then there are no opportunities, but little things like that can actually frustrate the potential growth that one can have. So you leave them unattended, unknowingly or knowingly, then someone else is busy checking your profiles.
Correct.
When you want them to have maybe possible partnerships or engagements as is related, people are not interested because you're not stepping up, you know.
Correct. And also, remember, the little things are the ones that build up to becoming big problems at the end of the day.
That's right.
And also, Precious, I need to understand a lot of times partners in business hardly see, well, a lot of times they don't see eye to eye, because now that you've made the profit, one of us feels we need to invest back to the business for the business to grow. And another has a certain thinking and a certain behavior and feelings when it comes to money. And they feel, oh no, I was only in this business so that I can make the profit because there is that big SUV that I'm looking to buy. And so those are very important things that entrepreneurs need to understand each other and what they're looking for. And also there's intelligence out there that's applied by different institutions where they create scorecards to predict the possibility of a particular business failing within the first 2 years. And so your behavior, your personal credit behavior also comes into play. Yes, the market can come into play, but the way in which you conduct your personal information could also come into play in creating that predictability to see whether your business will last and carry out. I mean, if you look at small businesses, a lot of them fail within the first 2 to 3 years. Because, in fact, the first year up to 3 years, because of we have a brilliant idea as people, we enter into business, but we don't understand the fundamentals of how to handle the finances of the business and how these things will affect us. And I'm talking specifically credit-related matters.
And then it's very puzzling because when we are jumping into partnerships with people, we make it seem like it's easy, it's a walk in the park, and we neglect these attitudes towards money, our behaviors towards money in our own individual capacities. So it goes beyond just two people saying you have the skill, but also what is your attitude outside of the skill? What behaviors do you possess? How do you behave around money? And then before we jump in, then we consider all those things.
Correct.
I think it would help a lot of us entrepreneurs so that we don't partner with the wrong people, because I've also had some few people citing that there's a challenge with partnerships. People, they often find themselves stuck when they get into partnerships with people.
It's usually precious because sometimes you don't have the same vision, or the vision that you have is not stretched far enough. So you both know that there is a particular business idea we have. We both know that there's a profit that we want to achieve. But what after that? What next? Thereafter, what happens? Like I was saying, some person might be thinking, I'm just looking for personal gain. Another one will be saying, I'd like to grow the business. And so that's why it's important. And two people must sit, or however many, and say, first thing we need to do is look at how our financial documents, like your credit reports, your bank statements and all of that. Because if you are open to that kind of engagement, then at least there's a brighter future for these partnerships.
Wow. Yes, viewers, we encourage you to join us in the next segment as Salem expands on what can be done for people to not find themselves being stuck in this credit challenges or debt challenges. She does give advice in that regard. So we encourage you to join us in the next segment. Thank you for taking your time to listen. Yes, as always, God bless.